Make sure to check out our sponsor, Cell Phone Buyers Recyclers. They want to buy your cell phone old, broken, or you're just trying to get rid of it. You can contact them right at the number on the screen, text or call. Also, their social media and website is in the description if that's more convenient. If you share their social media accounts on social media, get a chance to win an iPhone. Go check them out. All right, let's talk about Renegade. It was a song that I believe was on Jay-Z's Blueprint album. And let's talk about how originally it was Royce the 5'9" song and how it got in the hands of Jay-Z. And one thing about that album, you remember, Nas said it in Ether. He said, Eminem murdered you on your own shit. You's a dick riding. Queens niggas run, you niggas ask Russell Simmons. So everybody said that Jay-Z ethered Eminem on Renegade. And, you know, at the end of the day, it sound good, it rolled good, but when you actually listen to J Bar kind of held more weight as far as meaning, but everybody just, you know, they really don't comprehend bars no more. Or even then, you know, it was to the point where hip-hop was getting more, it sounded good, but really a lot of stuff be going over people's head. That's why when I listen to an album, I got to listen to it 4 or 5 times before I give you a great review on it. But let's talk about the story behind Renegade. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And one of the reasons people say that Eminem sounded so natural on that is because originally it was Royce the 5'9's and Eminem song. It was supposed to go on Royce the 5'9's album, and it's a story behind that. Now what happened was Royce the 5'9 eventually had to pick between Rock City and Renegade to go on his album. Okay. I forget the name of the album it was on, Medieval or some shit like that. I apologize for forgetting, but he was supposed to sign, I guess, to Interscope. Interscope wanted him to sign there. He ended up signing to Tommy Boy Columbia Records. So instead of signing to Interscope, he took the deal that was best for him. And obviously you had Jay, Dre, all of them on Interscope. So had he stayed at Interscope and maybe it was a low ball offer with maybe something in the, you know, creativity, you know, rights that he didn't like, they chose him to go to Tommy Boy in Columbia. They made him basically, you know, pick between the 2 songs, Rock City and Renegade. He chose Rock City, which was his single on that album, whatever it was called. So, you know, basically Eminem asked Royce the 5'9", could he get a song to Jay-Z? Royce took his vocals off the song and they gave it to Jay-Z, and that's how it ended up on Blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Because Jay wanted to do something with Eminem, so, you know, it became Renegade. So, you know, at the end of the day, just let you know how those labels work. You know, it was a kind of a flashback before I continue on. You know, got a little neck tension. Before I continue on about that, you remember with Ice Cube. You know, Ice Cube left Ruthless. You know what I'm saying? He left Eazy-E and them because the money wasn't right and it was a slave deal. When he left, he got an individual solo deal with Priority Records. He wanted to still work with Dre and Dre to do the production on his album, but Eazy and Jerry Heller didn't let Dre produce the album. Therefore, Ice Cube went to New York and the Bomb Squad did America's Most. Okay? They did that album. The whole album. It was intended they was going to do a couple songs, and then according to Cube, he just dropped his 30th anniversary for that album. He said what happened was he told them that, you know, basically it was being said that members of NWA said that he wouldn't get no play or get no help out there in New York. And they was like, you know what, we're going to do the whole album. And the Bomb Squad is one of the most underrated and underappreciated production teams out there. And they did the album. So you see how the industry worked. They made Royce the 5'9" choose, say, you ain't going to sign with us. You can keep Rock City or you can keep Renegade. And he chose Rock City. And also, they only allow Eminem to be on one song on his debut album. So they ain't let Eminem show up on multiple features, I don't believe, according to the article, and I put the article in the description, with Eminem. All right, with Royce. So he couldn't be on Royce's album more than that one song. And that's all because Royce decided to go another route. Now, you got to ask Royce why he chose Tommy Boy Columbia over Interscope, because naturally, a lot of the D12 members was over there. You know what I'm saying? All of them was over there. You know, that first album they dropped, I was talking about that with somebody else yesterday. Blue heels, purple heels, that bizarre, acting ill. That shit was dope. And was it Fight Music? So that first D12 album was dope. And they were saying kind of a little nugget here. They were saying Eminem was taking people verses off that sounded too good because he was the executive producer of the album. Any verse that was sound too good or sound better than his, he was taking them off the album. And they did all that capping for Eminem, and Eminem got them niggas right back in the hood. Obi Trice just caught a case. He from off of Schoolcraft and all them. So it is what it is. And maybe that's kind of where Eminem and Royce da 5'9" kind of had that tension at, because they had a little beefing part. And M said Royce da 5'9" is the only dude that he had never battled against. And, maybe rightfully so. Maybe Royce knew too much about him. Maybe he feared Roy's flow. Royce got one of the best pens in the game. He done penned some stuff for Puffy and a lot of different other people. So eventually, they smoothed it over. But, some people saying that's why Jay-Z wasn't comfortable on the track, because originally his verse was just, he came in after him. And when you got a rapport with another writer, it flew better. It flowed better. Not saying that the song would have been better with Royce, but it probably would have sounded more natural. Jay-Z didn't sound natural on that beat, and it really didn't sound like a Jay beat. And it sounded like Jay just took somebody's place on that track. You know what I'm saying? Not saying it was a bad song. That's one of the songs people point to at the Blueprint. Like, that's one of those good songs. But at the end of the day, I looked at it as it just wasn't a natural fit. You could tell that, Royce and Eminem probably had a more natural flow for the song. And, and Jay and Eminem, they just don't have that flow. And I remember Jay was asked, would he ever do a joint album with Nas? And he said, you know what, it goes into a lot doing a joint album, picking the beat, the production, the song process, thoughts. And he said him and Nas would have to really sit down, and basically he didn't have enough time to kind of find that rapport with Nas. And him and Kanye worked together on production so much that he knew what Jay liked and Jay knew what Kanye liked. So obviously, it's probably a reason why Eminem and Jay-Z didn't do too many songs together, because it wasn't a natural fit. Jay style and Eminem style, it wasn't a natural fit. You can say what you want to say about Kanye West. He used other people's pen, but his train of thought, his bars on Watch the Throne, and it wasn't a classic album. It was a cool album. His bars went good. I mean, you listen to Styles P and Jadakiss, for example, We Gonna Make It. That back and forth was beautiful. That's one of the best back and forths I heard. You know what I'm saying? They flow real good. You know what I'm saying? Eminem and Jay, it don't really seem they had that rapport, and that's something you got to build up to. Even though it was a fantastic song, you could tell that it wasn't a natural fit, and that's probably why Jay bars really wasn't there. It wasn't like Eminem killed him, and it was like, he just killed him and wrote a better verse than him. It's that his verse is already laid down, and Royce da 5'9" set the bar, and Jay-Z came in, and he don't really... They all got great pens, but Eminem and Royce, they got a different style. And I wouldn't say it's Detroit style neither. I'm from Detroit. Eminem and Royce don't sound like from Detroit. You hear T, you hear Sada, you hear Big Hurt, Eshawn, Malik from the Cheddar Boys, Blade Icewood, the Lodge Boy. I mean, keep going on. Doughboys Cash Out, Payroll Giovanni, Kid, Rock, RP to him. That was the sound of Detroit. Eminem and Royce will tell you they don't sound like Detroit. Detroit got a totally different sound. You know what I'm saying? Icewood Vezo, I can't leave him out. Babyface Ray, Peasy. So they all like, either way from the East, West, they kind of got the same kind of style. You know what I'm saying? You kind of can pick up on that style. M and Royce had a different type of style than them. But, at the end of the day, you could look at Jay verse, and people said that Jay took his verse to address Eminem fans if you break the verse down. So, it was a reason behind that song, behind how that song went. And obviously that was supposed to go on Royce's album, and that just let you know how the record labels play. I mean, that's natural, you know what I'm saying? He didn't sign over here, and he went somewhere else, so we only gonna clear one song. So pick one. You can't have both. So they didn't want to have, let people succeed. And what people gotta understand is when you sign a record label, it's different from being independent like Dolph. And like Dolph was, Dolph he don't have to clear nothing unless he signed a major deal. He don't have to clear nothing. Dolph can hop on a song, with, I don't know, let's say E40. He can hop off on a song. He don't have to have no clearance. So even Eminem had to have clearance. Eminem can't do what he want to do. He signed to somebody. At least at the time, he was signed with Interscope. So they got to clear that. It's a lot of times where you can use somebody's bar, and you try to put it on the album or monetize it, they'll take that shit down. You can put it on the mixtape. So they got record labels got a lot of power. They can make you do songs and do features and songs with other artists that you don't even like. But you got to do it, because if you don't do what they say do, you're going to get shelved. Adina Howard, Dej Loaf, all these are all acts that's been shelved. You know what I'm saying? They Eminem, he shelved Stat Quo. Remember he came out with Stat Atlanta, and they had a disagreement on a song or something, on how a song go. So Eminem shelved it, and then he ended up getting released like years down the line. And then Stat Quo came out with Stat Atlanta through a different record label. So at the end of the day, these record labels and executives, it ain't like I can just go say, people say, oh, why Kendrick and Cole don't do an album together? They got to get cleared. Or it's a loophole, depending on how they shit wired, kind of like the Locks did. They went to Rough Riders and they formed a different group. You know what I'm saying? So they couldn't take their name, had to kind of use a loophole. And same thing, if Jay and Kendrick wanted to do an album, it had to be cleared through all the record labels, or they can form a group or form a duo and say, you know what, we a group. I don't know what the fuck they called each other, and they can sign a deal as a group. That kind of happened to Jeezy. Jeezy had a deal with Boys in the Hood. Okay, that was his group deal, but his individual deal went through somebody else. And I was talking to somebody about record labels and how I was talking to Tom Business. Matter of fact, you can check his channel out, Tom Business, BIDness, Sports and Entertainment. He was telling me how he talked to LL Cool J one day, and he was saying that, anybody that signed a Def Jam need to talk to me. And LL Cool J signed a 13-album slave deal with Def Jam. It's one of the worst deals out there. And they were talking about how Jay-Z was holding, when he was the A&R over there, he was holding grudges, and he was shelving people albums and stuff of that nature. I mean, we could talk about albums that got shelved all day. I mean, we was talking about Dragon. His first 2 albums was dope. He dropped the first album, late 90s. Then the next album didn't come out for 2 or 3 years or something like that. Who else the shit got? I'm not Keith Murray. It's another guy shit got shelved. I can't remember who it was, but Dragon was one of them. Oh, Black Rob album got shelved after the first one. So at the end of the day, you wonder why certain artists fall off. A lot of the time, it's just personal gripes, or they don't see the vision. Everything. They want everything to be fruitful in the industry. They want everything to make a lot of money. And if you do some shit for the streets, that's why Biggie, and Puff, they had to kick Puff off Uptown, and Puff seeing the vision with Big, a little bit different. But hey, it's a little story. I put an article in the description. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Want to make a donation to the channel, Cash App, PayPal in the description. Let me know how you feel one time for the one time we gone. Check out Music Entertainment playlist. All my Detroit people, check my other channel out, Motor City Sports Talk. We talk sports, news, everything over there pertaining to Detroit. One time for the one time we gone.